Each year, thousands from around the world descend on the Big Apple to celebrate love, diversity, and acceptance at the NYC Pride Parade. Commemorating the 1969 Stonewall riots that served as a tipping point for the gay liberation movement, the parade honors not only the people, but also the places that brought about change for the LGBT community. However, while well-known landmarks like the Stonewall Inn are a major part of Pride festivities, there are many other historic sites throughout the tri-state that have all played crucial roles in the movement. And now the New York City LGBT Historic Sites Project is commemorating them with a close-up look at these hidden gems. And the initiative's co-directors, Ken Lusbader and Andrew Dolkart, join me now to talk about all this. Gentlemen, welcome to all of you.
Thanks for having us.
Andrew, you first. Tell me about the project, how it got started.
Well, the New York City LGBT Historic Sites Project is really a pioneering effort to identify and analyze in a scholarly manner sites of significance in the history of the LGBT community in New York City, and beyond that, its impact on America. And we like to say that we're making invisible history visible because people don't really know that there's LGBT history all around them. So this project was begun by Ken and myself and our colleague Jay Shockley and our staff person, Amanda Davis, and we're all products of the Historic Preservation Program at Columbia University's Architecture School. So we're very site-based. We really believe in the power of sites to tell stories and that people can really connect with sites. So we undertook this investigation of LGBT sites. We've been interested in this for a long time. About 25 years ago, we were part of a team that did a map for Stonewall 25 that identified sites in Greenwich Village and in Harlem and in Midtown. And then we were also part of the team that wrote the National Register nomination for Stonewall, the first site ever recognized by the federal government for its LGBT significance. And when the National Park Service was offering grants in 2016 for under-recognized communities, we applied and we got this grant. And we started the research and the website. And there are really two things that we're particularly interested in. Beyond just identifying sites where political events took place or gay bars, we wanted to show the impact that LGBT people have had on the culture of America, of New York City and America. So we are looking at sites relating to the arts and literature and politics and the economy and all kinds of sites. And the other thing that we really are interested in showing people is that there is a vibrant LGBT history that dates from before Stonewall.
I think it's important you mention how sites can be significant elements of storytelling. We tend
Absolutely.
to think of people, but the sites, and there's an interactive map. There's something
Correct.
that you put together. Tell me quickly about that, and then I want to get to some of these sites.
We're literally putting LGBT history on the map by looking at New York City through an LGBT lens. So the public can jump onto our website. They can look at about 130 sites that we've fully documented. We have about 350 plus on a database that we'll be adding. And each site has a significant description, followed by contemporary and archival images, followed by multimedia and such. And it's really an online exhibition of each site. And as Andrew said, we're so site-based. We like to have each category of a building. So we have bars and clubs, then we have performance venues, notable residences, and so on and so on. And then each one of those is attached to a statement of significance for each site. So you can understand if it's related to activism or literature or theater.
So it's great, not just great cultural references, but scholarly references, too. The history is an important part of it.
It's a very important point to make that this is a scholarly endeavor. Everything is cited. We have resources. People can look at this as a launching pad for additional history and information.
Let me touch with you on a few of these sites here. Just give people a sense of what we're talking about, and we'll bounce around between the two of you and some of the locations here. So if we start in Brooklyn, tell me about the Walt Whitman residence and why that's significant.
Well, most people know of Walt Whitman for his association as one of the greatest American poets, if not the greatest American poet. A lot of people don't know that Walt Whitman, though, was a real New York City resident. He living in the city between 1823 and 1862. He lived in about 32 locations and bouncing around a lot, which was sort of typical of him at the time. But he moved into this residence with his mother and father father and siblings in May of 1855. They bought the building, and he lived there for a year. They moved out in May of 1856. But it's there, at that location, he was living when his epical collection of poetry, Leaves of Grass, was published in June of 1855. So Walt ran back and forth from this section of Wallabout to Brooklyn Heights at the printing shop, overseeing the galleys. And at the same time, soon after that, he was shrewd enough to send a copy of Leaves of Grass to Waldo Emerson, who was so moved by it that he came and moved down. He came and visited him in December of 1855. Kind of his launching. Yeah, it launched his career there.
Yeah, right.
So it's really important as a rare example of a connection to a built location, to Walt Whitman.
Andrew, let me ask you to run through 3 Manhattan spots we have: the Aaron Copland residence, Bayard Rustin residence, and the Winter Garden Theater. Can you make a quick thumbnail sketch of each of those? And
well, because we're very interested in the impact that the LGBT community has had on culture, we looked at the impact on theater, and we focused on the Winter Garden Theater because in 1957, that was where West Side Story opened. And West Side Story, almost the entire creative team was gay, lesbian, or bisexual. You had Leonard Bernstein as the composer and Stephen Sondheim as the lyricist, and the person who conceived and directed and choreographed it, Jerome Robbins, and Arthur Lawrence, who wrote the book, and Irene Sharaff, who was the costume designer, and Oliver Smith, who was
an enormous collection of talent, who happened to be...
Yes, and Gene Rosenthal, the lighting designer.
Right.
So we thought, well, West Side Story would be a great entree into discussing the theater. And then so once we had started investigating West Side Story, the history of the Winter Garden Theater expanded because so many other LGBT people had important connections there. Vincent Minnelli, before he went to Hollywood, and when he was rather out, when he was in New York, produced 3 shows in the 1930s, Jerry Herman's Mame, Mary Martin and Cyril Richard in Jerome Robbins' Peter Pan, Michael Bennett, who choreographed Stephen Sondheim's Follies. So there were so many people, and the rich history of LGBT people in theater culture was really, really important.
Let me ask you, there are a couple of others, and we don't have time to get to all of them. The Kitty Genovese residence, we talked about the significance of that. But I want people to go, obviously, to the interactive map and see. But last question for the two of you before we leave you. Themes. What sort of themes are you looking to emphasize here? Ken, start with you, and Andrew, you can jump in.
Well, people can jump onto the website and see we have curated themes right now. You can look, instead of going to the map, you can look at transgender history. You could look at Jewish life, all associated with LGBT sort of peoples, as well as the Harlem Renaissance, which was really a gay renaissance of sorts, and that's influence. A broader theme, though, we started as a historic preservation project, but it's really now we're looking at it as a historic preservation social justice project, in a sense, making sure younger people and older people who don't know this history have a connection to it and really feel empowered to learn from the past, and that this history can inform their current ideology of how they are politicized now. So that's really one broad theme that we feel is really important to tell.
And I think also really important is that we're attempting to be as absolutely diverse as possible. And we have sites that represent every conceivable group in New York, and we're always looking for new sites. So we're always welcoming the input of the public to recommend sites. Folks who are watching and
listening to us, hopefully I'll have some.
Absolutely.
I got an idea for the guys.
We would love to hear from the public with ideas for sites.
It's just wonderful that it's a sense of living history.
Absolutely.
And so many stories that people don't know. And I would suspect that you're going to get an awful lot of, wow, I didn't know that, but boy, am I glad I do now. It's a marvelous project. We can talk for hours about all this. We'll get you back, and we'll talk some more about down the road. But Ken, Andrew, thank you so much for it.
Thank you.
Great work with the project.
Thanks a lot.
Much appreciated. Thanks.
And for more information on the historic walking tour, please log on to metrofocus.org.